goes. Right in the center. Make sure my phone's off. Let's go. Oh, shit. What's up, guys? It's Hitch here. This is a series that I used to do, or that I've done periodically throughout the entirety of my personal channel. But basically what we do is we sit down at a virtual bar between my computer screen and your computer screen, and we just have a drink and talk about nerdy things. Today, I am drinking some Sauv Blanc. It's just white wine. It's just all I really had lying around. But today we're going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel. And all of the things that he has done for gaming in the past 3 days. So basically, Jimmy Kimmel did a little segment on YouTube Gaming, and just basically said that he has no idea how anyone in their right minds more or less could fathom watching someone else play video games, especially for their own entertainment. And then he uploaded that segment from his TV show, from his nighttime talk show, onto YouTube and got destroyed. Absolutely, like got bombarded by gamers on the internet, because that's where we live. So I guess I just wanted to bring my thoughts on the entire situation. First of all, who should I mention first? All right, let's just get this out of the way. Say Jimmy Kimmel was sitting across the table from me, and I was able to have a typical conversation with him about the whole YouTube scene and everything in general. Then I would basically say what everyone else would say. Whereas in your generation, people grew up. A majority of the kids, in your demographic, in your life, growing up, the majority of the kids, played basketball, played soccer, played football, and and then they would go watch that, and they would, in order to get better, in order to be entertained themselves, they would watch other professional players play these sports and these athletics, and then and that's just kind of where we are today. I mean, I'm not saying that's all we do as kids is just, the kids of this generation are growing up only playing video games. It's not the part of it. I mean, everybody that, damn near everyone I talk to that watches esports or watches any kind of gaming just to be entertained also watch some sort of athletics or also have other hobbies. It's not like people just take it above and beyond and say that there's a huge stereotype of what gamers are, that they just never leave their basement or whatnot. So, Mr. Kimmel, if you will, it's just where we are. It's something that the kids of this day and age, and in even all ages, basically, because it's so popular nowadays, it's something that they can connect with, that they have something in common with an entertainer, and they enjoy watching that entertainer. So it's a win-win. You're watching your favorite game, you're watching your favorite entertainer, and you're just having a good time, and you're also supporting your favorite entertainer. Another thing that I would say is imagine growing up being a football fan, and your favorite quarterback's Peyton Manning. Growing up, imagine every single practice you had a live stream feed into his practice. There's a helmet cam. You see what he sees. You see what he communicates. You see the plays that his team run and the strategies that go into the games. You see everything behind the scenes at real time. Like, imagine if something like that actually existed. That is the equivalent of what is happening in esports, and also on the entertainment side of things, that as well. You're seeing a constant feed of content from your favorite either athlete, these mental athletes, or your favorite entertainer. It's just something that if it was in other aspects of life, of entertainment or sports, it would be game changing. It would be insane, and it's so cool that basically we're the only ones that have that, the gaming industry. So I feel like every time I talk to someone about esports and what I do or what my dreams are, because I'm still kind of like, this is what I'm trying to do with my life, and explaining it is kind of weird. That's what I say is like there's a live stream feed that you can see. All you have to do is click a button and you're watching the highest competitive level behind the scenes through the player's eyes. It's crazy. So that's what I would say to Jimmy Kimmel, and I feel like anyone who can take themselves out of a box and understand what's going on would be able to understand that. Now, what I would say to, let's say, across the seat from me or across the table from me was the entire gaming viewership, everyone who watched that YouTube video. What I would say to everybody is that, you got to understand that this is new. That what we are doing is still new, and it's something that you're always going to have people that don't understand it. In everything that you watch, there's things that there's viewers that they just don't understand what you're doing. Like over here in America, we watch football, and we call it football, and then everywhere else in the world calls what we call soccer football. And they're just like, who would watch American football? Or some of them do. Who would watch American football? I can't believe that. And then over here in America, we call it American football. Anyone who calls it football, there's high school jocks everywhere that just say, man, you guys are like foot fairies playing, a pansy sport. In everything, there is going to be someone who doesn't understand, and when they don't understand, they're going to talk bad about it. And that is what Jimmy Kimmel did. And Jimmy Kimmel did that because the people that watch TV are not watching the internet. They're not watching YouTube. They're watching TV. So they don't understand what we do. So if he said, yeah, there's this really cool thing happening on YouTube where people are watching other people play video games, why don't you go watch it? Then he is preaching to his direct audience to do something that he knows damn well that they have no interest in doing that. He's not going to tell 80-year-old grandmas to go watch competitive Call of Duty and things like that. So he's making all this content for his direct audience, and they just happen to upload it to YouTube, which is our platform, and so then we bombarded him. So all the people saying all these things about how he's supposed to understand, and they're comparing it to sports and things like that, but they're comparing it in a very aggressive way. I mean, there's no way that he's going to understand that. There's no way that anyone in the television industry right now, if it's not directly gaming related, is really going to understand that. I mean, I know cool stuff is happening on ESPN as of late with League of Legends and Heroes of the Storm and stuff like that. That's pretty freaking sweet, but it's going to take a while. I know we're going in that direction. Everyone knows we're going in that direction, but it's going to take a while, and I just wish everyone could understand that, so that, I liked the like to dislike ratio because he was just straight bashing gaming, but obviously, of course, with everything, you're going to have the trolls and the people that want attention and telling him god awful things and threatening him and threatening his family and craziness. That just happens, and that happens with everything. If there was a direct line of communication between every single NFL football fan in the world, I mean, I'm sure some crazy stuff would go down, but we just happen to have it so accessible right there on the interwebs. So I think first of all, the fact that YouTube, because this has all been happening for like 5 years, 10 years possibly. This has all been happening for 10 years, and now that YouTube has come into it, people have started listening, and people have started wanting to know what exactly is going on, because YouTube is so big in mainstream and in music and everything that now they're branching out into a gaming only section of YouTube. That's crazy. And just another example of how people don't understand. If you saw the interview with Fwiz talking about YouTube gaming, he's talking about it, everything's going pretty well, and then he says the word esport. And as soon as he says it, you hear the anchor woman laugh. You hear her laugh, like chuckle a little bit. Because esport, take yourself away from what you've been doing. Esport is crazy. The first time I heard esports, the first time I ever heard somebody say it, I was like, wow, that's like a really nerdy thing to say. And you got to understand that that's what the general public thinks. So, I love what I do. I love where my direction is headed, and I love what I'm going to do in the future as far as a career path. Inside of esports, inside of gaming, inside of videography, wherever it leads. And, we know we're going up, and we know things are doing well, but you just gotta... I don't know, just Jimmy Kimmel should understand us, we should understand Jimmy Kimmel, and it should all just be, I'm sorry about that, it should all just be a big happy family. But that's not going to happen. But thank you guys for watching this. This has been Around the Bar. As always, I barely took any sips of my drink. Let me know in the comments what you are drinking, and also it could be I usually say this at the beginning. It could be alcoholic, it could be non-alcoholic, it could be water, it could be orange juice, it could be Capri Suns. But yeah, just let me know what you're drinking down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this entire Jimmy Kimmel thing, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.